What's going on this morning? It's the Big Bass Bash week. We're going to talk about controversy in the fishing world. No, I'm just kidding. That's what everybody else wants to talk about. People getting disqualified from the Bass Elites. People getting information, yada, yada, yada. It's like the only thing that we see on YouTube. This lake sucks. This is why this lake... We're not going to talk about that today. It's a no drama drop zone. We're going to talk about how to catch them. It's like nobody talks about how to catch them anymore. Thankfully, here at Lake of the Ozarks, we've got several good YouTubers out there giving us good fishing reports. So all you got to do is search it right now, and there's several good YouTube channels to figure out what you want to do at the Big Bass Bash. And then, of course, go to bassandbob.com. He's got a bunch of videos on there. I saw Lawson Hibden on there the other day. They've got a round table with all the good guides on the water. So check that out. For me lately, I've been catching them on a wiggle wart and a jerkbait mostly. Now, the water temps have stayed pretty steady. So 53, 54, 55 seems to be the range. I know that there's warmer water up in the creeks, but we had a lot of cold rain come in, so I haven't been there to check it. But normally, in the back of these bigger creeks, it will warm up quicker. So the upper Gravois, the upper Grand Glaze, the river arms like the Niangua and the Big Niangua. The problem is, right now, we got enough rain that dirtied up some of the big creeks. But in the last few days, some of that cleaner water in the back of the coves of some of those bigger creeks have cleared up really good. So don't be scared to go check something out to find that 55, 56, maybe 57, 58 degree water. I wouldn't be surprised if I find 60 degree water on Saturday. I am going to fish the bash. I don't qualify to not fish the bass. The bass, bash, the Big Bass Bash, but it's good, so I can go out and fish. So I'm going to fish up the river. I'm going to fish around Ivy Bend. That's where one of the weigh-in spots is. So if you don't know, you can get online and look, but you have a weigh-in spot down by the dam at Port Randall. Then you have a weigh-in spot at PB2, and then you have a weigh-in spot at Red Oak. So they're kind of spread out. If I'm missing one, I apologize. I think Alhana used to have a weigh-in spot. I'm not sure about this spring. You might check on that. But that's 4 spots, and then you go way up the river, and you have Ivy Bend. So when you get up there, you kind of have a big stretch of area that you really don't have a weigh-in spot. I wish they had one at the 46, at Station 46, or at Red Fox. That would be perfect for me. But I get kind of split in between where I like to fish. So I either have to go down the Red Oak and weigh in, or go up to Ivy Bend and weigh in. So that's your options. Now, from there, I'm going to go up the river as far as I can to get away from people, and I think the bite is better. So a lot of river fish, they're active. They're active on the main lake. They're active in the coves. You can catch them on secondary points. One key thing up there lately has been getting out of the current. So the water temps are getting up there now where you're going to start to catch them on points that are in the current, but they're thinking about spawning. So some of them will spawn just on the edge of the current, but they're going to want to spawn out of it in protected pockets. So anything out of the river channel, it can be within a cast throw of the flowing river channel, but they want to be out of it. So pockets off the main lake, pockets in the back of the creek. So, Little Proctor, Big Proctor, all the little coves in between Proctor and Ivy Bend, go past Ivy Bend, Little Buffalo, Big Buffalo, Deer, Turkey, all those are going to be really good. So I'm going to concentrate up there. The baits. Let's run down the baits. The big spinner bait is going to be the I was going to say like the cash, the check casher. The big spinnerbait is going to be the check casher. Will it win the bash? It has a very good chance. I think the bash is going to be one on a glide bait this year. I think a big glide is going to trick one of those big fish, and I think that's going to win the bash. Now, the jig is a very close second behind the spinnerbait and the glide. The glide is going to be one of those you probably won't catch a lot of fish on. I think if you throw a spinnerbait and jig the whole time, you're going to catch not only numbers, but you're going to catch a lot of really good, decent fish, and then hopefully be in the check line. I think a 4.5 to 5 pounder, the lake's fishing good enough to where I could see some of the hours where you only you need a 5 pounder. You need that 5 or above to get a check. I could see that going down where, so the hours 9 o'clock to 11, or I'm sorry, I'll have to look at it because I don't even know off the top of my head, but 9 to 11, 11 to 1, 1 to 3. So have those ready, have your fish ready to go. You can have 2 in the live well per person. So have a fish ready, and then you can look online and see what the weights look like. If you have a big monster fish, you want to try to win that time slot. So you win a lot more money for first. It drops off very quick from second to third. But then again, you don't want to waste time. So I tend to just weigh them in. I have messed up before where I went ahead and weighed a fish in. If I'd have waited the next time slot, I would have won that time slot. So that's a very, very hard, almost impossible to predict. So main thing is get them in the boat and then weigh them in. Check those weights out. It doesn't do any good to take a 4-pounder up there unless it's a 400 or a 300. If you know that it's going to hit dead on the money, that's another $100. I think a 316 from Justin Swast with the real estate company is an extra $1,000. So if you have a 316, $1,000, 300, an extra 100, 400, an extra 100. I don't believe they pay it for 500, but a 5-pounder you're going to want to weigh in regardless. Now, jig, spinnerbait, we talked about that. What's the other sleepers? Buzzbait. Buzzbait's working. Buzzbait catches big fish. Buzzbait could be the sleeper. Chatterbait, it's going to catch a bunch and it could catch big ones. Squarebill, awesome bait right now. Brown and orange. Shad is working, but I would stick with your crawdads. Your red and black, red and green back, brown and orange. What else? Wiggleworts, rock crawlers, Norman, little end, big end. Your smaller crankbaits, Bandit 300s, Bandit 200s, Bandit squarebills. Those type of baits. Rattle traps, 1/2 ounce, 3/4 ounce. A 3/4 ounce and a 1 ounce trap could most definitely catch the biggest fish of the Big Bass Bash. That's something that a lot of people will not be throwing either. The Lucky Craft LV 500, there's a silent rattle trap, and then there's the old school big, noisy, obnoxious rattle trap. Rayburn Red, Rayburn Zombie, Rayburn, all those type of spring crawdad type rattle traps. That's a sleeper. That could catch some. Spooks. I mentioned the buzzbait earlier. A big spook in the right pocket will catch a big one right now. It's working. Topwater is just started, and that's a good way to catch a big one right now. Those baits, if you stick with those, you're going to do well. If you don't like doing all that kind of stuff and you just like to chill out, Cinco, Carolina rig, Nico rig, a red bug magnum trickworm. You're going to get a lot of bites, and that could catch a big one. Cincos, wacky rig it, put it on a shaky head, black with the blue tip tail, black and blue fleck, green pumpkin. Dye some of the tails in chartreuse. Dye the head in chartreuse. You take your chartreuse wacky, your dye from the jars, or that wacky pen, or whatever they call it, that has orange on one end and chartreuse on the other, or red. Dip the tips of your jig trailer in there. There's going to be a lot of stained water, so you might want to give your jig a little bit of color. Flukes. Take that chartreuse pen and mark your fluke up a little bit with it. Make it look good. The minnow right now, so your 3 to 4 inch minnows, your Rapala freeloader, the mooch minnow, that stuff's still working. There's going to be a lot of fish staging. Not everything's going to be right on the bank, so that 8 foot, 10 foot of water could be good. So if you see fish like that on your graph, your Alabama rig, your jerkbait, and your minnow is still working. So keep that in mind. If you just want to slow roll a 3.3 Kitech and just slow roll it over the top of those brush piles, that could be a way to hammer some. So that is going to be going all over the lake. Your tackle box is wide open. The whole lake is wide open. And I really, really hope somebody catches an 8-pounder and wins this thing. So I think the weights are going to be from 8 pounds. The winning fish is going to be 803. It's going to be caught on a glide bait. It's going to be caught in Bare Bottoms Cove. That's the prediction. It's going to be caught at Bare Bottoms. It's going to be an 803, and it's going to be caught on a glide bait. Anything could happen, though. Anything. I'm going to go down there with an open mind and just fish and have fun. I'm going to stop at Redheads and eat, and then I'm going to go fish my way up the river. Then I'm going to stop at the Red Fox and have me a nice cold iced tea, and then I'm going to keep going and weigh in some fish up at Ivy Bend, and then I'm going to go all the way up to Buck Naked, have me another iced tea and a big old cheeseburger, and then call it a day. That's what I love about Lake of the Ozarks Big Bass Bash. It's going to be a good time. Fish where the good food is, and you can catch one anywhere. Be safe out there. Have a good time. I hope to see everybody at the weigh-in at PB2 on Sunday. Let's eat some cheeseburgers.